Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 19 of State of the Gaming Industry, where we talk about everything that's going on in gaming for the week, whether it's, news on new games, hardware, sales, everything like that. So just want to get some house cleaning out of the way. So first thing is, this will be the last episode until probably the first week of January. The reason for that is, so next week is the Game Awards, so I'll be streaming that Thursday night, and that'll get posted up on the channel, as well as on Spotify and Apple Podcasts if you guys want to watch it. And then I'll be going out to going on a trip. And then I feel like the game industry is kind of going to slow down after that. Like, there's not going to be too much. Like, if there's something groundbreaking, I'll probably do a video on it on the channel. But as far as like news goes and everything like that, I think after the Game Awards, we'll do a wrap up of that and everything, and that's kind of going to be the talk of the town. And then there's going to be Christmas, New Year's, everything like that. So unless something crazy probably happens, this will be the last episode for 2024. So for everybody that's been checking out the episodes, I appreciate it. Like I said, we're on episode 19, so we should be starting 2025 off with episode 20, which will start season 2. I'll just do it at like the top of the year instead of doing like an actual year for the seasons. But other than that, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to go over some of the Indiana Jones reviews. They did come out. I did check Metacritic just to see what it got overall. I didn't deep dive into all the reviews. I haven't watched anybody's reviews or anything like that, but I'm gonna get into that. We got some Liza P DLC. We got a new Bleach video game. We already got that announced, but they showed a little bit more of that, so we'll talk about that and a little bit about what other videos for people that this is just for audio people sometimes, but for people that watch the channel as well. Just gonna go over some videos you could expect for the rest of December, because I'm gonna the year's ended, so we gotta kind of push some of these out. But as far as what I'm playing, again, same as last week, Metaphor, I just hit 65 hours, and from what I've heard from some people, like the part that I'm at in the game is they're roughly halfway, which I mean, it's kind of crazy. Now when I hear like people saying you could spend 120 hours, I can see it, because I'm pretty much doing all I can, trying to strengthen all my bonds, do all the requests and bounties and everything like that, play through every dungeon. So I could see this being a definitely over 100-hour game, but I'll try and get that review out, of course, in the next, I'll say like 2 weeks. That's my plan. As far as recent pickups go, I did post a video on Monday going over all my Black Friday pickups, so you could check that video out. But just a quick synopsis of it, I did pick up a lot of stuff from Amazon and Best Buy, mostly on PS5. I got 4 games on PS5, so I got Stellar Blade, I got Spider-Man 2, I got Sandland, I got Armored Core, and then on the Xbox side, I did get the digital version of Alan Wake 2, the Game of the Year edition with the DLC and everything like that. That's the only Remedy game outside of Max Payne, which I'm waiting for the remakes to come out to play those. That's the only one I haven't played yet, so looking forward to playing that. I got Phantom Liberty, and I got something else that I can't remember. Oh, Sonic and Shadow Generation. So I am going to be doing a review of the original Shadow the Hedgehog as well, but we'll talk about that a little later. But let's get into the weekly reviews, or sorry, the weekly releases for this week. So this week, not that crazy, but a few standouts I would say would be so Fantasian Neo Dimension. This is a game from the original creator of Final Fantasy. So that came out today that I'm recording this, December 5th, and it got an 81 overall, so that's pretty good. Haven't heard anyone talk about it yet, but I'll check out some reviews. And then Marvel Rivals, which we'll talk about a little later, talking about some of the things that people are liking so far, as far as like the battle pass and the lack or choice you have with microtransactions and things like that. So we'll be talking about that a little later, but that will be coming out tomorrow as well. So A lot of people looking forward to that. And it's not on here because the early release for it is tomorrow, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on Xbox, and will be coming out on PS5 in spring. If you did get the what do you call it, like the early access, I think you pay like $30 extra and you get to play 3 days early. But yeah, that'll be coming out officially on December 9th, which is Monday, and I will be playing that. I'll do a review for it too as well. So it's coming from Machine Games, who made the Wolfenstein games, which I played the second one. I forget what it's called. Wolfenstein. Forget. I know the first one's like New World Order, or World Order, or New Order, or something like that. That one I still need to finish, but Machine Games really good at first-person shooters, so everyone's been waiting to see what they did with this Indiana Jones game. But so it got an 86 overall on Metacritic, and that is on Xbox. I don't know if it's their PC as well. So PC, I got an 87, so around the same thing. But Xbox, let's keep it with that. It got 43 reviews, so 40 positive and 3 mixed. So let's go through a few of these. I want to kind of just look at the reputable sites that we kind of know. I don't really care for some of these. No offense to any of these smaller people. So Games Radar actually gave it a 10 out of 10, and they said that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is the best adventure this character has embarked on in over 30 years. I don't know if that's saying much, because people have been saying there hasn't been a lot of Indiana Jones games, but either way. Well, actually, that includes the movies, I would expect, right? So 30 years. I don't know when. I know some movies came out in the 80s, so I guess this is just saying the last 2 movies and whatever games have come out recently, which I guess isn't saying much, but still. I heard there's like 3 hours of cinematics in this game too, so that's interesting. So it said developer Machine Games has leveraged its expertise in the FPS space to deliver an immersive, authentic first-person adventure that is quite unlike anything you've played before. So a lot of people were complaining before the game even came out about the whole, first person, because it is a, adventure game, kind of like Tomb Raider. But we saw there are sequences like in the previews where you will go into third person. So, and again, like I said, Machine Games made Wolfenstein. They're great with first person shooters. We still got to see how they do with like the puzzles and the everything like that. But either way, sounds good. I don't really know. Inverse I've seen before. So it's Indiana Jones. They give it a 9 out of 10 and say Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is tremendous. It is a worthy new chapter in the chronicles of film's greatest archaeologists and one of the year's best video games. So yeah, that's the other thing with this. The fact that they took, like, I feel like if they were doing early access and all this stuff, they could have moved this up, hopefully, or possibly a couple weeks to try and get into that Game of the Year conversation. But I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do that. They moved Avowed out to February. You had Flight Sims kind of going through this weird thing with the cloud streaming and all this kind of stuff and not downloading textures, and the people can't get into the game and all that. And then you got this game coming out basically after all the awards are going to be given out. So yeah, it sucks, but either way. So 9 out of 10 from Xbox Era. They say Indiana Jones and Great Circle isn't an average game. It's something truly special. It's got its flaws, but it's an irresistible invitation to wear the fedora of one of my childhood heroes, to crack the whip and fully embrace the thrill of discovery and embark on a genuinely fantastic adventure. Whether you're a lifelong fan of the franchise or a newcomer with only games like Uncharted or Tomb Raider under your belt, that would be me. Like, I'm the Tomb Raider Uncharted person, so I'm hoping I can enjoy this game. This game delivers an experience that feels both fresh and heavily steeped in nostalgia. Indiana Jones is the original Tomb Raider adventure, and Machine Games have to put it simply, nailed it. They've crafted an unforgettable journey that's worthy of the franchise, ready to embark on an adventure of a lifetime. The mystery of the Great Circle awaits, so that's great to hear. Windows Central also gave it a 9 out of 10. Let's see some of the Gaming Bible 9 out of 10. There's a lot of 9 out of 10s. I feel like 9 out of 10 was like the most common joint here. I want to see some. Okay, Dexerto. So they gave it an 8 out of 10. And they said, while led down by some performance issues, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle captures the essence of its titular hero, nailing the story, characters, and visuals. For action adventure lovers or Indiana Jones enthusiasts, this game is a must play. So the only thing they said was the performance, which that's the thing too. With these reviewers, they get the games early. Like they get the game weeks, sometimes a month ahead of time. So they're getting a certain build without patches, no updates, and things like that. So yeah, I'll take that with a grain of salt. But let me see. Okay, let's look at some of the mixed reviews. So Noisy Pixel gave it a 7 out of 10. They said Indiana Jones and Great Circle captures the spirit of adventure with nostalgic puzzles, richly detailed environments, and thrilling set pieces. While it stumbles with lackluster AI and clunky item management, its charm and sense of discovery make it a rewarding journey for fans of the iconic archaeologists. Jira Xbox gave it a 6 out of 10. The Verge hasn't given one yet. Trying to see if they say anything negative in here. Drag out fight with the main villain that happens mid-game. Rendered as cutscenes. Meanwhile, the less interesting bits are actions you have to perform. A reason its adventure needed to be a game. So this was something that I was kind of worried about because, like I said, with the 3 hours of cutscenes, even that one cutscene they shared with us was like, what, 20 minutes or something crazy. It's like a lot of the game may feel like, okay, this could have just been a movie, and it's saying the best parts of the game are cutscenes, and then the less interesting parts are the ones that you actually play. Let's see if did IGN not do one on here? I didn't see. I saw like IGN Brazil or something. IGN France. I guess they didn't do their review yet, but again, overall, I'm seeing everyone likes it. Hey, if you're a fan of it, it says 20 to 30 hours. Great cinematics, great gameplay. There's a little bit of, you know, a lot of stuff people complain about could be fixed, I think, with a patch, like AI, like I said, like performance issues, stuff like that. Like I think they could fix that pretty easily, but that does it for Indiana Jones. So I'll be playing it Monday. I'm actually downloading it right now as we speak on my PC. So expect the review on that. And 86 isn't bad. I know everybody talks about like, oh, PlayStation and Nintendo with the 95s and all that. It's like, yeah, you want Xbox to have those games, but I don't know. Maybe we like 8 out of 10s are not bad. And if you're getting a bunch of them every year, especially with Game Pass, like, can't really complain. But let's move over to what's it called? Lies of P. So in round 8. So we already knew back in September they gave the announcement that they were doing DLC as well as a sequel expanding on the world. But we know that this is from a Korean website, by the way. So I had to translate it, so some of the words are a little, the grammar is not exactly perfect, but just talking about the DLC as well as the sequel, as well as the sci-fi horror that Round 8 is going to come out with. And I think that's great too. And Lies of P was one of my favorite games last year, and honestly of this generation. Like I wasn't a big Souls person, but it really got me into the game. So and then I played Elden Ring this year. So yeah, it was pretty good. And that got like an 81, I think, on Metacritic. So again, 8 out of 10s aren't always, you know, there's reasons for it. It's not always all bad. So it says here in the article, where does it go? So according to the game industry, on the 29th, meaning November 29th, there was anticipation for Round 8's They put P's Lie, I mean Lies of P. So Lies of P DLC release in the first quarter of next year. So we still don't have an exact date, but we do know it'll be coming somewhere within the next 3 months that we'll get the DLC for Lies of P, which I don't remember if they said it was going to be free or not. I mean, even if it's not, I'll definitely pay for it. Like Lies of P, like I said, I love this. So in addition to that, along with the anticipation for the DLC release, interest in Round 8's next work is also continuing. And that's why putting out great games, whether they sell, I mean, Lies of P sold over 1 million copies, excuse me, but even if it doesn't sell, like, even if you just break even, or maybe if you lose a little bit of money, like now that if your game gains this notoriety, everyone's looking at what's your next thing, right? And then the people that missed out on your old works will go check out your old work. So it's kind of like a trickle down effect. So it says right now they're hiring level designers and scenario planners, which I guess is like story people. According to the announcement, Round 8 introduces next work as a survival horror project set in a science fiction world, and stated that it will utilize Unreal Engine 5, targeting PC and console platforms. So that's good. It'll be on P. I don't know if Lies of P is on PC. I feel like it is. So yeah, that's, I mean, we know survival horror. I'm interested to know, and it says science fiction, so I'm interested to know if it's gonna be like, is it like the games that's mentioned here, like Callisto Protocol, Dead Space. I played Dead Space Remake for the first time last year as well. That was really good. So it says it's still too early. NeoWiz official said it's still too early to disclose the progress of the project, and it's one of the PC and console games that Round 8 is preparing. And that's about it. So their stock price went up, as we know. Dang, 21%. The third quarter performance went down, actually, to the previous year, which makes sense because Lies of P came out last year, but they still had a profit of 6.5 billion won, which I don't know what that translates to in dollars, but yeah, whenever Lies of P DLC comes out, I'm there for it. When the sequel comes out, I'm there for it. Their survival horror game, I'll wait to see, but they've kind of earned my trust on that, so I'm good. I'll be there day one. All right, now we know PlayStation celebrated on the 3rd their 30th anniversary, and with that came a few things. So we already know the 30th anniversary like controller and the PS5 Pro and all that, but they also did an update for some themes, like the startup. You can see here, this is the PS1 original startup. So if you have a PS5, you can do the update where you can get the different startup or that. You can also change the themes to the any of the previous 4 PlayStation. So you can see this is the theme of the PS1 up top. It even has the same sounds and stuff like that. Like I changed mine to the PS2. I never owned a PlayStation 4 to PS5, but I changed mine to the PS2, which this one is the PS2 one, and it has different theme. Like when you go through different items and back out, it has the same sound effects as the PS2 or PS3 or whatever you're doing. This is the I think this is the PS3. It's either the 3 or the 4. Like I said, I never owned either one, so I'm not sure about I think this is the 3, but pretty cool. The only kind of backlash this got from a lot of people, and same with me, is the fact that they made it a limited release. Like, why? Like, either like there's 2 things that could be wrong with that. Number 1, you're just taking it off for no reason. And then number 2, you might be taking it off and then you're going to charge people later, which is not great. So either way, they put up a few games on PS Plus. I think Sly 2 and 3 are now on there. So I don't have PS Plus, but if you do, you can check those out. I do want to try the Sly games at some point, but not today. All right, now everybody was doing their Spotify Wrapped, and Xbox, and like a lot of other companies did their year in review like they did last year. So wanted to just go through mine real quick. PlayStation announced, I think they're going to do theirs on the, I don't know if it's the 10th or the 12th. So sometime next week, you'll be able to check out your PlayStation stats. But yeah, we could go through the Xbox ones for now. So this was my year in review. I played a decent amount on both PlayStation and Xbox, not too much on my Switch because there wasn't really anything that came out this year that I really wanted to play. But just the year in review as it has here, Elden Ring was my #1 game, which it would still be #1 either way, but it skewed a little bit because of the DLC. So because I never played Elden Ring, I bought it, I played it like every day for 3, 4, 5 hour chunks. And it had the DLC, the Shadow of the Erdtree as well. So that easily was #1. So right now my gamer score is almost 40K, which is kind of crazy. Says I'm a night owl, meaning I prefer quests over objectives, dash of magic, a good dungeon or 3. This is my total time. So it says I got 382 hours, 49 games played. Of course, the games played number is going to be high for a lot of people just because of Game Pass. Like a lot of people aren't buying this many games, but still 49 even to me seems kind of crazy. Unless it's counting old games you already owned and you might have just booted up for a little bit. Like I think I played Geometry Wars for a little bit or whatever, but either way, and now I'm wondering if PlayStation will do this too. So as preferred platform, because obviously Xbox is on PC, it's on cloud, everything. So obviously console is my preferred. I don't even want to say obviously because I've been gaming on PC a little bit more now. Busiest month was August. I believe that's when I bought Elden Ring. I got 6,000 more gamer score, 270 achievements, as you can see here. 330 hours on console, 51 on PC. 62% of games I played were action adventure, 22% role playing, 13% shooter, 1% platformer, 2% other. I was in the top 10% of players for time played. I was in the top 2% for players for gamer score, which is kind of crazy. And then I was in the top 2% for players for achievements unlocked. And honestly, again, I attribute that to Game Pass. Like I try to try a lot of things in Game Pass with the subscription. Like if people are playing a lot more hours of games that they already beat or online games or whatever, they're obviously not going to get a bunch of achievements. So here it is, Elden Ring, like I said, 127 hours. I think when I beat the base game, it was like 80 hours, 83 hours, something like that. And then you add Shadow of the Erdtree, another almost 50 hours on there. 28 achievements. What's crazy about this is it says like the Elden Lord achievement, which is when you beat the game, only like less than 14% of people even unlock that, which I don't get. Like people buy games, just don't. Well, I won't say that. I definitely have games I haven't finished, but most of the time if I start a game, I'm gonna finish it at least. If I haven't turned it on, sure. But anyway, number 2 game, Persona 3 Reload, 70 hours. And then number 3, Black Ops 6, which this surprised me. So 37 hours. I mean, I did just beat the campaign. This is actually, yeah, I just beat the campaign last night actually. So then that plus I was playing online a decent amount. I wonder if it counted the beta along. But yeah, 22 achievements. Oh, actually these numbers are off because it says I got, well, actually I don't know, because it says top achievement, which is something I got on November 12th. So I don't know if it counts the most recent thing, because that's not necessarily how many points you had. But either way, then you got Little Kitty Big City, which is my daughter playing it, Alan Wake, Other Worlds, Crab's Treasure, Dishonored. I still need to play Dishonored 2, Minecraft, Overwatch, Control, Halo Infinite. Sonic Mania is amazing. I'm gonna play that again. But yeah, so that's my Xbox year in review. Y'all could check it out too. Check yours out, see how you did. You can post it on social media. Now let's get over to Bleach, Rebirth of Souls. And I was mad too because I saw this late. There was like a glitch where this was on for pre-order on Amazon for $40, even though the game is I think 60 or 70. But then by the time I saw it, it went down. They're probably canceling people's orders anyway. But so this is coming from Bandai Namco, who we know make all of the anime like arena fighter games. But this one looks a little different. It is a fighting game, but we finally got the announcement, so you could play local multiplayer or online, which is good. It's going to be on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, and PC. Probably buy it on PC just to play on or Xbox. I don't know. I wonder if it has Xbox Play Anywhere, so I could do both. But finally got release date. It'll be March 21st. And we got some more videos from it. So this is the launch trailer, but you got some different characters. You got what's his name? Karatsuchi. You got Grimjow. There was one with Aizen and what's his name? Aizen and I forget his name, the Captain Commander. I keep forgetting his name, Yamamoto. But I mean, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I mean, I'm interested to know if it's gonna be like, you know how in Dragon Ball where if you're a Super Saiyan, it's just like cheap, like you're just gonna win every time. If it's gonna have actual, you know, hey, you could pick any character as long as you learn how to play the game, then you could win, which is cool. And it says each people got signature moves. You got the releases with Bankai and I forget what the Hollows, not the Hollows, the Espadas, what their release is called, but it looks pretty good, man. You got Nell here. Yo, they were doing an interview with Kite Tubo, talking about, the question was something crazy. It was like who has the biggest chest or something, like which character. And it was like, oh, I think Nell does. That's how I drew her. I'm just like, one, I don't know how someone just asked him that, and then I don't know why he even answered. But here's what the Ultimate Edition comes with if you want to buy it. So it has the Bleach Rebirth of Souls, the base game. Obviously, comes with the Season Pass, which is 4 characters. It lets you play 1 week early access for those characters, but not the game itself. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if you want. 2 type Soul Crystal set. 1000-Year Blood War costume set, Rebirth of Souls version costume set, 2 type Soul Crystal set 2 and 3, and you also, if you pre-order, you get the Hitsugaya and Yoruichi costume set, which, hey, not mad at that. The question is, how far does this game go? Like, are they gonna? Because if they're gonna do 1000-Year Blood War costumes, they'll probably do the game in some type of DLC, right? Like, I don't know. We'll have to see, but I want to play it. I'm not a big fighting game guy anymore, but I will do that. Bleach this season's been great as well. I think they're almost done now. I think it's only like 2 or 3 more episodes. But all right, let's talk about Ubisoft shutting down. Man, Ubisoft's been going through it this last few months, man, especially this year in general. We laid off the Prince of Persia, the Lost Crown team, laid off, they shut down, or not shut down, they pushed back Assassin's Creed Shadows for a while. They've been trying to get bought out. Like, it's a lot of nonsense going on. And now we got even more shutdowns coming down from Ubisoft. They got XDefiant is shutting down 2025, which was one of their live service, like free-to-play games, and they're laying off half of its team, and 2 studios will close too. Man, it's like, I don't know, that's a lot of stuff happening. So it says Ubisoft will shut down its free-to-play shooter XDefiant Ubisoft announced on Tuesday servers will remain on until June 3rd, 2025, but the game will no longer be offered for download and player registration will be closed. Despite the sunsetting, XDefiant players will get access to its third season content sometime in the quote-unquote near future. Nearly 300 people, 143 in the San Francisco office and 134 across their other locations will be laid off. The other half of their team will move on to other roles at Ubisoft. Despite an encouraging start, the team's passionate work and a committed fan base, we've not been able to attract and retain enough players in the long run to compete in the bro. Like, man, that's bro. We keep seeing this. Like, they're not sustainable, bro. These live service games, it's just, unless you're an established franchise or like you just struck gold, like I would just implore just stay away from live service. It's not, I don't know, it's not it, bro. It's not worth it. XDefiant players who purchased the $70 Ultimate Founders Pack, which I like, how many people was that? Will get a full automatic refund. According to executive producer Mark Rubin, all purchases made within the prior 30 days will be refunded too. However, according to Ubisoft FAQ, the Founders Pack and Founder Pack Elite are not eligible for refunds. And those players will get refunds within the next 8 weeks. So the game was released in May. Dang, so it's not even making a year. Or it's making exactly a year, but we're hearing about its demise 7 months later, which is insane. It was announced back in 2021. It reached 1 million players within hours of its official launch, but no official player or revenue numbers have been announced. So that sucks, man. But again, this live service stuff is it ain't cheap, and it ain't, if you're not getting that support, it don't matter. But speaking of games that will get support and live service, let's talk about Marvel Rivals, which will be launching tomorrow. So I wasn't even going to talk about the game itself, but just about this model that I've seen a lot of people raving about, which was the what's it called? How they're doing the battle passes. So this is from Games Radar, and it says Marvel Rivals Battle Pass is an anti-FOMO win that doesn't expire at the end of seasons. There's no need to worry about not having enough time. It says Marvel Rivals is free to download, and heroes, maps, and other gameplay elements are completely free. So Marvel Rivals has revealed its broad plans for monetization, and the details of its battle pass have fully allayed concerns of stingy microtransactions. So NetEase publisher DevTalk 7 monetization on the official Marvel Rivals website, and it goes over what players should expect when it comes to fun topics like microtransactions and battle passes. Thankfully, in this case, I can actually say fun unironically, because it all sounds very good and fair. By far, the biggest takeaway is the fact that the Marvel Rivals Battle Pass won't expire at the end of seasons, meaning you don't have to. Okay, that can wasn't supposed to be there. Meaning you don't have to worry about ticking every single box and reaping max rewards before time runs out. And yeah, I think that's a thing with these battle passes, right? Like, they try to make you have to get in because you only have a certain amount of time and you got to beat in. It takes however long and how many hours and experience to unlock everything. And then if you don't do it, then you can never get the unlockables ever again. That's like terrible for these games, in my opinion. I mean, it makes business sense because you want people to stay in the game, but as far as like just being consumer friendly, it's not. So it says this FOMO element of battle passes has been a massive pain point in the live service genre, and Marvel Rivals has effectively remedied the whole issue with this one change from the traditional model. Although it's worth noting it's not the first game to do so, with Helldivers being a recent example. And that's the thing too, like all these live service games, we keep saying how crowded the space is. if the space is crowded, at least learn from their mistakes. Like, learn what these people don't like, what players don't like, what they would like in a new game. Like, you have all the data and information, or not all the data, but you got enough examples ahead of you to take that and then form your game based on that. So it sounds like they're doing that. So it talks about the currencies here. So the two currencies in Marvel Rivals are Lattice, the premium currency that can be bought with real money, which is like, you know, V-Bucks or whatever in all these other games. And units, which is what you earn just from playing the game. Notably, units can be exchanged for Lattice at a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning real world dollars aren't the only way to get their premium currency. So that's cool to know. And reasonably far, $1 in real life gets you 100 Lattice, and the paid luxury battle pass costs 490 Lattice, so a little less. So basically 490. Or it says a little less than $5 for the premium battle pass, which doesn't sound that bad at all. And there will be free battle passes that will include one epic quality costume and a series of other. And like I said, if you're playing the regular game, you can use that to buy real Lattice and exchange it and then get the battle pack as well. So bundles, which usually include a skin, an MVP animation, emote, spray, and nameplate, will be 2,200 to 3,300 units, although the Loki Season 2 bundles will be discounted up to 28%. So while you'll have the chance to get skins and other cosmetics through bundles and individual sale, you'll also be able to get through achievements and events, which will presumably be detailed at a future date. So right now it has 33 heroes in the game right now, but then they're obviously going to add more. So, I mean, this is good to hear. I mean, I dipped my toe into Overwatch a little bit this year. It was cool, but again, I'm kind of traditional. All the different classes, like you got the tank and the medic and all that, like I'm just trying to shoot people, do the objective, and keep it moving. Like I don't like all the different playstyles and all that, but I mean, there's characters for that. There's characters like that for people like me. Marvel Rivals free to play, comes out tomorrow. I've heard it's really good. Obviously, Marvel characters are super popular, and the fact that they've made it where you don't feel the FOMO and you got to get this battle pass, and like, hey, if you want to pay for it, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And then you get the regular money that you can exchange just from playing regularly. Like, there's other games I've played a bunch of time and like I don't get any of whatever currency to unlock stuff. So that's good to see. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out for sure. But since I've been trying to get back into stuff, playing Black Ops 6, as y'all saw, is my third most played game this year. So, all right, last topic, and it's not even really a topic, it's just what I said earlier. Just wanted to talk about the future videos for the channel. So if you're an audio listener, then this is more on the YouTube side. But definitely check out the YouTube and subscribe and leave a rank. Leave a 5-star on this. But anyway, as far as future video goes, I mentioned a couple things. So I definitely want to do more reviews on the channel. It's just the fact that when it comes to reviews, it's hard if you're not kind of if I'm a small channel, obviously, right? Like 600 subscribers. So I'm not getting codes for games early. When a game comes out and everybody's putting their reviews out, that's kind of it. Not saying that means I'm not going to do a review for a game, but it's like, okay, I'm already kind of behind. Once people see all those reviews, they're not really looking for that anymore. And then at that point, people are kind of moving on to the next thing. I've put out reviews like a month after a game's come out, like Persona or Tears of the Kingdom, but I was playing those games every day for like 4 or 5 hours a day to try and get that done. And it kind of takes the enjoyment out of the game sometimes, especially when you're reviewing, because you're looking at certain things that you're not, like, if you're just playing a game, you're enjoying it, you're listening to dialogue. Sometimes like I'll be skipping through stuff or like just being like, oh man, the game's not over yet. Oh, another thing, when it should be like, oh man, I get to play more of this game before I see the ending. Like sometimes that creeps in, but like I said, more reviews. Finish up Metaphor, definitely gonna do a review on that. Indie, I'm gonna do a review on that. And then I wanted to I had the idea of this before, but I wanted to do like retro reviews, which is playing older games that not like 5-year old games, but like 15, 20-year old games. So like I mentioned, Shadow the Hedgehog, want to play that, do a retro review on that. Mass Effect, the first one, want to do a retro review on that. The Batman Arkham series, like stuff like that. So I want to do those. I want to try and do at least like once a month, excuse me, for some of those on the channel. If not, review some type of review on the channel at least once a month, because I already do the weekly videos. So, and then one of those is always the, you know, what games are coming up this month. So it kind of will be a good cadence of like, hey, we have what's coming up for the month. You have the weekly, say, the gaming industry every Friday. You got a review to look forward to, which will most likely be the best game that came out that month, and then the other news stuff. If big stuff happens in between, you got what do you call them, like showcases and things like that. So that'll be a good cadence for that. And then the rest for the foreseeable future is going to just be kind of wrapping up the year. So like my top games of the year that I played, not necessarily all games that came out in 2024, but my top games. I gotta finish a few things before I can fully do that video. I want to do like a report card video where I kind of rank the big three, what how they did as far as hardware, software, announcements, what they got coming up in the next year. I was going to do that as 3 separate videos, but now I was just like, it's kind of overkill. So I'm gonna just do that as one video, and then each company from the big three will have its own section. And yeah, so that's all it is, man. We trying to keep the grind going. Like I said, check out my videos. I put out a whole room tour video. I did a Black Friday video. I did a game of the year, or a what do you call it, the Game Awards like voting video. I've been putting up a lot of content, and like I said, I got like maybe 10 or more videos coming within the next, you know, 2-3 weeks. So I definitely got a lot of content on the way. So appreciate you guys. Like I said, this was State of the Gaming Industry episode 19. And I'll see you guys in the new year. If you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, there will be videos coming. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, again, rate 5 stars, check out the YouTube, and subscribe over there. But until next time, I'm out.